Back to the next video. In today's video I will show you how to do GraphQL subscription for your Flutter app using GraphQL Flutter for real-time communication. So if you don't know what GraphQL subscription are, they are basically like WebSocket IO. So if you want real-time communication between multiple clients, mobile apps or websites, you can use GraphQL subscription. So firstly, I have already created Node.js backend. I already made a video about this as well. So I'm running that backend locally. If you are curious how to do that via backend, you can watch that video, but I'll quickly show you the output inside the GraphQL interface. So I have this subscription running. I will run it, and here you can see it is listening. Whenever I try to add a new user using a GraphQL mutation, this subscription get fired. So I will add some new user. Suppose I'll add Android. I'll go and I'll hit this mutation. So here you can see this subscription was fired. Okay, and if you see my output as well, here you can see Android was updated inside my list view.builder. So I have a text field, I have one button, and click on that button. I am doing some add user mutation, and this list view.builder has a query as like on the app load. I am doing a query of the list of all users, but I am also simultaneously listening for new users via subscription. So suppose I will reload the app. So here you can see Flutter and Android was already populated because of GraphQL query. Now if I try to add new user, suppose iOS, I'll submit it, and here you can see iOS was added, as well as over here iOS was added. So that's what GraphQL subscription is. Let's see how to do this. So first what you will have to do is first go to the create a Flutter project. Inside that go to the main iOS folder, and inside info.plist make sure you add this. Forget about this, like this was part of my other GraphQL upload tutorial. So you will have to add this because I am running my Node.js backend locally. That's why I had to add this. If you are not running your Node.js backend locally, and if you have deployed it to cloud, then you don't need to add this if provided it is on HTTPS. Next, for Android, you will have to go to android manifest.xml. You will have to add this internet permission. Okay, you will have to add this internet permission. Also, I had to add this uses clear text traffic because again my Node.js backend is hosted locally. That's why I have to add this. Next, I'll just close this. Inside my pubspec.yaml, you just need to add this GraphQL _Flutter. Again, forget about all this stuff. You don't need this. Just add this GraphQL _Flutter dependency. Next, I have created a file called client_provider.dart, and what I'm again ignore this part. You don't need this. So here I am creating a GraphQL client. So a GraphQL client takes the URI as well as the subscription URI, and over here you can see that I have created an HTTP link, and also I'm passing inside the HTTP link, I'm passing our normal URI, and I have also created a WebSocket link where I'm passing the subscription URI. Now inside the protocol, if you have watched my Node.js backend video, I was using GraphQL WS. This is little confusing to me. Like on the front end side, you have to use the sub protocol as GraphQL transport WS. I don't know why. Maybe like same issue I faced for native iOS as well. Like I couldn't really figure it out why we have to do this. But if you try to use the different protocol of GraphQL WS, it won't work for you. Like I faced lot of issues on that as well. So yeah, that's why I had to use this GraphQL transport WS, even though I'm using GraphQL WS on my backend. Next, we have to create a link. So I'm using link.split. I'm passing our request.is subscription. Okay, and I'm passing WebSocket link as well as HTTP link. Then with the help of value notifier, I'm creating our GraphQL client, which takes a GraphQL cache as well as our link. Then I have created a stateless widget, which just takes a URI, a child, which would be a widget, as well as a subscription URI. And from that I am just calling this client for method and passing the URI as well as subscription URI. So this will be kind of like an inherited widget. and again this takes a child as well as a client, so I'm just passing it for that using the GraphQL provider. Now if you go to main.dart, firstly inside your main you will have to make this as future, and I'm using this widget flutter binding dot ensure initialized, and I'm awaiting for initialization of Hive. So Hive is used as a local database for your GraphQL flutter stuff. Next I have wrapped this our entire my app with client provider. I have passed the subscription URI as well as the URI. If you're trying to test it on real Android device, localhost won't work. You will have to enter your own IP address if your Node.js backend is hosted locally, and if you're trying to test it on emulator, I think you will have to use something like 10.2.2, something like that. Next I have created our homepage widget, and this is so here I have taken a text editing control for our text field, and this list of string which will contain the usernames for displaying it inside, and list view dot builder. And here I have created our add user mutation. Here I have used our get user query, and this is my subscription. And on dispose I am just disposing our controller. Next inside text field I have assigned the controller as well as some placeholder text, and here I have taken a mutation. I have passed our add user mutation to it. On error I am just printing it to the console, and on completed I'm not really doing anything on completed because I'm making use of subscription, right? That's why but if in case you are not using subscription, you can listen for result over here as well. Then I am using the builder method of our mutation, and inside that I am using our text button, and on pressed I am just calling this run mutation, and my run mutation take this kind of an input. So this like movies is mail and money I have just hard coded, but whatever is the name you have entered inside text field, I am just passing that because I am more interested in that. Next I have taken one query. So this is little interesting. So what I have done is that I have taken query as a top level widget. Inside that I have taken subscription, and inside that I have taken a list view dot builder. So I'll just show you. So this is our query. Okay, so this query runs as soon as our app is open for the very first time. So once we get so here you can see I'm passing our query, and if there is exception I'm just printing it to the console. And once we get data, I'm clearing our list, I'm fetching all the users, and I'm just appending it to our list. And in case it is loading, I'm just displaying again. If you want to show, you can show a progress bar as well. Then I'm using a subscription. I'm passing our subscription using GQL as well, and in case there is any error, I'm just returning a text. I think you should not return a text, you just display an alert, otherwise your list view dot builder won't be available. So I think you should display an alert or some notification to the user that subscription has failed, because in case subscription fails, your query will also show this text which is not correct even though your query was successful. And if there is so if you don't show a progress bar for each loading of your subscription, otherwise you will never see this list view dot builder, because subscription always continuously listens for data. So I have ignored that, and once we get some data from our subscription, again I am adding it to our items list. We don't have to do set state because our list view dot builder is wrapped inside query as well as subscription. And then here I have just taken our expanded list. Inside that I have taken a list view dot builder, item count is items dot length, and here I have just taken our list style. So yeah, that's it. I wanted to show it to you guys, like if your GraphQL subscription requires some kind of an authentication, you can use this sample code for for your use case, because it uses the auth link as well with bearer token. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.